on the Rhine. I'm your host, J-Man. This edition of the IWR are going to do our 2012 WWE Elimination Chamber review. Just getting off the air of the pay-per-view. Yeah, really interesting pay-per-view tonight. Definitely not what we were thinking. A lot of interesting stuff going on. We're going to run it down for you. First match up, and then let me repeat that. First match up, we have the Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title. We were knowing that we were going to get some interesting stuff out of that once we started with this matchup between champions CM Punk, Chris Jericho, The Miz, Dolph Ziggler, Kofi Kingston, and R-Truth.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job with this chamber. I think they did a pretty good job letting the athletic guys shine, do really good spots here and there. And I think, I'm not really quite sure how long this went, but it really flowed pretty well together. This was probably the shining spot on the whole show, the opening. And we really did not expect this to start. We were like, WWE Championship, well, we thought that was going to main event, you know. Yeah. Then we kind of picked up an idea on what we thought was going to happen, which I'm sure we'll explain. But, you know, and getting down to Punk and Miz, and then Jericho gets kicked and falls out of the chamber and, like, lands all rugged or something. I don't know.
Rugged is the word of the night, by the way. We might use it a couple times.
Rugged.
That was my word of the night. It caught on.
Yeah, and kind of just, he really didn't get pinned or submitted. He just kind of was apparently knocked out and never got pinned. So Punk ended up winning, but pretty good. Nothing really extremely special, but it was still a pretty solid one.
Yeah, after we kind of got over the shock that this was the opening match, this ended up really producing a really quality Elimination Chamber match. You know, as going into it predicted, you know, all these athletic guys being in it, and they really, you know, proved that, you know, taking some really tough bumps, you know, onto the chamber. You know, Kofi Kingston doing a lot of great stuff. As I told you, he's going to be doing some Spider-Man shit, people. That's exactly what he did. That great spot, that DDT spot where he jumped on and then flipped over to Ziggler and dropped with that tilt-a-whirl DDT, which is great stuff there. And yeah, you know, with the interesting stuff that, you know, kind of played off of that, obviously coming down to that Jericho thing, where having Jericho come out of that and out of the chamber, and then finishing with, you know, Punk hitting the GTS on Miz and getting the, you know, the clean win. That's it. Nothing really said after that for Jericho. It just kind of started a theme tonight of really starting to set up WrestleMania, and you could really get that feel. And it's not the normal way that they, you know, usually set up, you know, WrestleMania at an Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. They did it a different way, and I did not like the way that they really did a lot of these things on here, and just kind of the format of some of the stuff they did on this pay-per-view really got it out of whack, and it just kind of went for everything with the pay-per-view. But as for this, definitely the best match of the night. You know, starting the pay-per-view, as we said, it was just like, why was this starting? You know, no matter how, and, you know, we'll explain with the other stuff why the reasoning and why they, you know, kind of formatted some of these matches and where they put them at. Just no matter how you're going to do it, your best match should go on last, and the best match, you know, was the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber, and that's just what really should have happened. And just having it start out like this, it was just weird. And, you know, no matter, you know, having Jericho come out, you didn't have that weird crap, you know, kind of at the ending there. You had CM Punk winning and retaining the title, which is another theme that we'll get to. But a really quality, you know, Elimination Chamber match up there, and CM Punk retaining the WWE Championship in that match. Next match up, we have the Divas Title on the line when champion Beth Phoenix went up against Tamina Snuka. You know, after, you know, a pretty solid Elimination Chamber match, the crowd was just out of it. They didn't really get into this at all, and it really was nothing special at all. You know, Tamina had just no pop. No one really cared about it. You know, Beth Phoenix continuing that role and that, you know, that run that she's on right now as Divas Champion. Obviously looking strong going into WrestleMania. It looks like they possibly could end up finally doing her in Karma, because she's taking out everybody else, and obviously it looks too predictable that they're going to be doing that. But nothing really special here. Just your kind of typical block kind of Divas title match, and Beth Phoenix retaining the Divas Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I kind of thought they could have worked a little bit with this. I mean, they really it just seemed really sloppy. They were just falling all over the place. I think Tamina got hurt early, and they were trying to work with what she could do. But this just looked really bad. Like it looked like it was like they were trying to choreographize. Like, is that a word?
That's not a word at all.
Choreography, I guess, in dancing. It seemed like they were trying to do choreography in like a dance recital thing, and they just were messing everything up. It looked really bad. I expected a little bit more, but hopefully we go on and get that Beth Phoenix Karma, because there really was. I mean, I don't even think was there a pop for Beth Phoenix either. Like, it really just wasn't.
Yeah,
a
no.
pop
I mean,
for
the crowd was dead after that great start, which is what you're going to get after that, start. That's what you're going to get, especially going straight into the Divas Championship there. But as he said, there's no chemistry there. There's nothing really going there, and that just plays off the fact that they haven't really gotten in the ring with each other except for some tag matches here and there. They just haven't, done anything, and you just can't build off that. Throwing Tamina in there in her first pay-per-view, match, and it didn't work out. A little bit disappointing. Thought they could have did hopefully a little bit more out of that, but nothing really special there. Beth Phoenix retaining the Divas Championship. After that, I had a little segment here with John Laurinaitis saying that he was going to have a huge announcement and basically saying how he should be the overall GM for both Raw and SmackDown. And we ended up having Alberto Del Rio return. We had Christian return. We had Mark Henry come out and all get behind John Laurinaitis, saying that he should be the guy going forward, should take over for Teddy Long on SmackDown, and should still be the general manager on Raw, and should just take over everything, just be the overall kind of GM thing. And they really played this up also later in the night, kind of mentioning, Teddy Long at the end, had, Jack Swagger doing this little segment, stuff like that, saying, John Laurinaitis should be the guy and you should just not take over. So it looks like it could be possibly setting up some sort of kind of, I know they're bringing back bragging rights this year, so I don't know if they're going to carry it all the way to there, if they do something at WrestleMania, kind of a representing both kind of GM thing to see who might be the overall GM. Who knows? This is obviously going to play out going into WrestleMania and over the Raws and SmackDowns in the weeks and months ahead to see what they do there. But great to see Del Rio and Christian back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great to see. So hopefully those guys are ready to go again, and going into WrestleMania time, hopefully we can see them being incorporated. But that's really all I got out of it. It was Del Rio and Christian's return, which was great to see.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Christian and Del Rio returning hopefully to wrestle.
Exactly.
Mark Henry came out in his gear. We thought he might have taken a spot in the chamber. Yeah. He didn't. I mean, it really, I thought there would have been a little bit more to it, but it really just was that. That's all it was. They really didn't do anything else.
Exactly. So. And as I said, Christian looking rugged. Just that beard, man.
Bearded, yeah.
Up there with Edge out in the woods, just being amazing.
Ice fishing.
Just out there reeking of awesomeness, dude.
Just reeking.
Just rugged. I just thought of rugged is when I saw him, just looking just nasty. Great to see Christian back, but yeah.
Yep.
Next matchup, is the interesting format as we go here. It was the Elimination Chamber match for the World Heavyweight Championship, featuring champion Daniel Bryan versus Brodus Clay. Why the hell did I just say Brodus Clay? There's a randomness going on here. I have no fucking idea why I just said that.
Brodus Clay.
Daniel Bryan versus Cody Rhodes versus Wade Barrett versus Santino Marella versus Big Show versus Great Khali. Obviously, with all of this going down to where, Randy Orton getting injured, being taken out of the chamber, having Santino thrown in there, and we got one of the worst Elimination Chamber matches of all time. It really just struggled. I mean, it was just lagging and it was just crawling at just a slow pace for this entire match until really the very end. With the interesting stuff that happened with Santino and Daniel Bryan, and kind of the near falls that Santino was getting over Daniel Bryan, teasing of Santino possibly winning the world title in an Elimination Chamber match. I just never thought I'd say that sentence in the history of just anything. Just not in my wildest imagination would I just say possibly getting a win in an Elimination Chamber match, Santino Marella to win a world title. It's just like, what the fuck is going on right now? It's just like, come on. It's just, you could really tell that this Randy Orton injury screwed everything up. And they really needed Randy Orton in this match because damn did it struggle. And having Daniel Bryan enter last, we were screwed after that because you didn't have, the amazing worker in there for that entire time. You had Big Show in there for good damn 30 fucking minutes. We were all joking like, man, he's thinking he's like 96 in there and working his ass off. It's just like, I haven't seen Big Show work that much in a long time, and
putting in work.
It just the kind of the formation of this match and putting Santino in there and just having Randy Orton's loss in this matchup really hurt this, and not having a worker like a Daniel Bryan in there, and it struggled, and that's just the bottom line of it. It was a struggle to just even get through this and watch this damn thing. But Daniel Bryan retaining the World Heavyweight Championship, even though like Santino could possibly have won, which still just amazes me that I just say that sentence right there. But what I get out of it is Daniel Bryan is still the World Heavyweight Champion. Having Sheamus come out and beat him down after whatever, they're going to play it up. It's looking too predictable that Sheamus is probably going to win the world title at WrestleMania, but Daniel Bryan still your World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, the majority of this up until probably the last 5 minutes. The metaphor I'm going to use for this is it reminded me of You ever seen a black emo kid wear like
Sure.
really, really tight pants, but then at the same time he wanted to be like thuggish, so he sagged?
So now
It basically dragged
confused.
ass.
They were confused and they didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, it dragged ass.
Dragged ass.
Like, I'm just saying, have you ever seen an emo kid, like a black emo kid, like he has really, really tight pants on, like the tight emo pants, but then he wants to sag because he wants to be like thuggish too. So it looks like he has just a bunch of poop in his pants. The beginning of this Elimination Chamber dragged so much ass. Like, Big Show was like doing most of the work. Just, oh man, it was rough.
Just nightmare, just booking all around. Just, we're gonna have a Big Show out there for 30 fucking minutes, and then we're gonna have Daniel Bryan sit in a damn pod for 30 minutes. It's like,
I was
fucking retarded. I mean,
I was definitely spot on when I really, with my instinct of this being the worst Elimination Chamber ever. It's really hard to say it wasn't. The last 5 minutes were really interesting. The crowd was really hot for the last 5 minutes. They really, really wanted to see Santino.
They wanted to care. They wanted to care about something.
They wanted to care, really.
It
just the work in the match was sluggish. There was botching all over the place.
Not to mention just Big Show, the spot where he was climbing into fucking Daniel Bryan's pod and like he's gonna get in there and just eat him, or fucking just oozing in there like Ivan Ooze. Just gotta get our fucking Power Rangers references.
Power Ranger reference.
What the hell? I mean, what the hell was this? I mean, there wasn't any like, had a lot of chamber work with the chamber. Had that suplex spot. That was about it, and then just the Big Show spot in the Daniel Bryan's pod. It's just like, what the hell was that? And I mean,
I do want to mention the just ridiculous amount of injuries right now is just really hurting WWE. Hopefully, the majority of these guys are healthy by Mania, because. I mean,
God, you could have put a Christian in that match. That would have saved a lot.
I mean, you got Randy injured, Del Rio, Christian,
Rey Mysterio,
Sin Cara's out. You could put Sin Cara in there if he was even there.
I mean, we could have. It would have laughed at some botches. I mean, fuck, that'd have made it more enjoyable.
Yeah, but still, at least, I mean, it just would have been a bigger name, and
exactly.
They really could have worked with it. But the injuries are really killing WWE right now. Hopefully, they can get up there.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that we get out of it right now, and we were very, very proud to say this because we never thought that we would ever imagine this, even though it should happen, and it is going to happen. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan are going into WrestleMania as world champions. That just shaking a 5 and a
pound of honor.
Honor, dude. Code right there.
Code of honor.
Code of honor right there. That's fantastic. I mean, just never in my wildest imagination would I would think that these two amazing guys that deserve everything that they're getting going into WrestleMania, no matter how the outcomes, pan out or whatever's going on. Great to see these amazing guys that deserve every bit of it going into WrestleMania as world champions. Awesome stuff there. Now moving on to a impromptu match. We had the U.S. title line, champion Jack Swagger versus Justin Gabriel. Jack Swagger won.
All right.
Moving on now to the main event. The main event of this pay-per-view. Last match. Main event. We had the ambulance match between Kane and John Cena.
This was hilarious.
Yeah, this was pretty good. We had a lot of references to throw in on this one because there's a lot of funny little things. I'll let him throw in the one that genius that he thought of. But this is to me exactly pinpoint blueprint material of exactly what was going to happen with this match. There's nothing intriguing that came out of it. It's your prototypical John Cena winning a pay-per-view match. That is exactly the formula of how you do it. You have your little work that goes on for about 10, 12 minutes or whatever. You go over to whatever spot's going to end this gimmicky match, which it was, the ambulance match. It had the huge attitude adjustment spot off the ambulance, threw him in the ambulance into your pay-per-view. And you have, by the way, the name of this pay-per-view, in case you guys don't know, is called Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
Elimination Chamber is the name of the pay-per-view. We had 2 Elimination Chamber, and here's the reasoning, is obviously, in my eyes, what WWE thinks is, okay, we pimp this out so much that these chambers are so unpredictable and the champion has no damn chance at, retaining the title in it, well, we're going to have 2 retains with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. We can't put, that shit, up on the card. Good Lord. We can't put, that amazing match with all those amazing athletes and, wrestlers and stuff in that first WWE title match. And just, because we had that goofy shit with Jericho. That's not a great way to end your pay-per-view. We got to have the blueprint, put it down, there you go. This is exactly how this match is, John Cena, boom, to a T, kind of ending matches that you're going to get. And that's exactly what we got out of this. And it's just... like I said, the formula and the format and how they organized this card just really just brought it down. And it really, obviously you're not going to put that world title chamber, at main event. But that WWE title match chamber should have so been the main event. It's ridiculous why they put this, as your main event. It's just to set up, Rock and Cena. You got to have that set up. The lasting image on a pay-per-view before WrestleMania is... John Cena pointing to the WrestleMania sign and, getting all ready, throwing some punches and stuff like that, ready for The Rock, and that's what we get out of it, and you can't do that. You can't, draw down your pay-per-view going into WrestleMania just to set up this pay-per-view when you need to end it with, what the damn pay-per-view's for. It's Elimination fucking Chamber, people. You don't end with your main event as a goddamn ambulance match. It's fucking ass backwards. It's just retarded. That's like doing the Royal Rumble first after a Royal Rumble pay-per-view. It's just... that's dumb. But John Cena winning in your ABC John Cena match.
Yeah, the work in this was just not great. Even the spots on the outside, like if you're an ambulance match is basically a cousin of a stretcher match or a street fight or this. There was not any hardcore spots in this at all. The chokeslam on the table was weak. They had just
get to the best spot.
Oh god, just a spot where just John Cena just pushed Kane in a wheelchair into a table that moved a foot. It literally looked like, if you've seen the movie Red Dragon, like Philip Seymour Hoffman on fire going down a hill in a wheelchair. That's what it looked like.
You can't draw it up anymore. That is exactly what it was.
He literally did not move. Like he did not. And Johnson, and you could like he just he didn't move anything. And the spots were bad, and just it was real rough. Like they gave it some time. And then they did the ridiculous top of the ambulance spot where he, whatever, attitude adjustment into a little pit with foam in it, probably.
Yeah. Then
put Kane in there and took him out. It really did nothing. It really did nothing. It really, getting to, they're in such a hurry to get to WrestleMania. They wanted to just set it all up real quick.
And I can't blame them. This WrestleMania is looking like one of the best WrestleManias of all fucking time.
It looks great. But this pay-per-view going in is fucking horrendous.
Yeah. This really felt like what TNA does to us sometimes, where they want to get to something so damn bad, they're like, fuck it, this is like a weekly night, this isn't a pay-per-view to us, this is like, we're just going to set shit up. You can't do that when you have 5 weeks to set up WrestleMania. 5 fucking weeks. That is so much fucking time to set up WrestleMania when you need to give us solid stuff and shit that just makes sense. Just make sense with the shit that you do. Literally, this is how the card goes. It shouldn't. Literally, it's ass backwards. It's just how fucking retarded it was. But overall, it wasn't horrendous. It was just weird. It just really felt weird going into WrestleMania. As we said, it's looking ridiculous. It's stacked beyond belief, especially what they're setting up. But it's just you can't set it up on a pay-per-view. You can't give us a setup on a pay-per-view. You just can't do it. But that's what we got. And John Cena winning in your main event ambulance match. Tremendous stuff there. This is now a wrap up our 2012 WWE Elimination Chamber review. For my partner Ryan, I'm your host J-Man. Thank you for watching another edition of the Instant Wrestling Report, your source of best wrestling news, information, opinions, and stories. This is a battle